Honest truth, see if you all just flipped fucking blue, then we wouldn't be, this wouldn't be half as difficult. House 9 would be dead a whole lot sooner. We'd, I get that you guys don't all want to do that, but, we look at the map and think, well, ideal scenario, if you, even if it's for, own agendas and self-preservation and whatever, if everybody was blue, it would be a real game changer, because everybody would look at the map, even House 9 would look at the map and say, well, what the fuck are we fighting for? We've obviously lost.
Right, and I'm not stalling anybody right now, except I am, because Shiz and Rizzle are not on here for Hawk and I to talk to, so I can't give you the decision of Hawk and Shiz, of Shiz and Rizzle, without talking to them. We ideally we should turn blue. We should.
All right, well,
I have to get them two to turn blue because they hold the seats.
All right, I just wanted to, that's why I just had to point out that, this is time sensitive. The moment Ireland starts heading over there, it becomes too late.
Yep.
And I'll also just throw out there, as far as the sister house and you guys joining blue, I like you guys. Hell, Deckman and I, we get along great. So, when it comes to war and it comes to us having your guys back, I'm quite serious when I say if an enemy plants in a parish next to one of you guys, I'm going to react to it just as strongly and as severely as I would if they landed next to Jigga or Wazupi or any of our other people. Whenever I enter into an agreement like stuff like this, we've got your back.
Yeah, and that's quite genuine. There's too many people, too many groups, factions, houses, whatever, on this world that are, they're fuel to this game is spite. And I can assure you, we're not. We're just playing a fucking game. And if you're on our side, doesn't matter whether you raised me out 20 times over just last week. If you're in my house, on my side, and I know you are, you're not just like hiding there or some shit. That's why I was bringing in the sort of sincerity aspect. If you're actually with us, then we'll defend you till we'll stand by you and fight with you, and we'll all prosper.
No, the sister house is a real thing. What we're trying to expedite is the war with Ireland, because the longer they invade, like Lotri said, the less options we have, and the uglier it gets internally. Just let me point.
Like Jigga said, it's all about perception. The moment this stuff turns blue, 9 is going to be much more willing to surrender because they're just going to realize they're fucked. And the moment they hand over their glory house to us, and we have the thing locked down with people, so it's just going to sit there losing stars, and we don't have to worry about it. At that point, if that happened within the next few days, we could go right to war. If House 9 was in our hands and we knew it was off the board and there was nothing that could happen, we could go to war with Ireland immediately. And right now, it would take no effort at all to push them out of Wales. Nope. And at that point, we have 3 king seats, push them out of here, and we can just start heading straight across.
Okay, so if those things could be promised in writing, where that those things could happen if they did those things. Because it's the Warwickshire Alliance and Shiz's. I forget the name. If those two join
we
blue,
could just move Shiz into the Warwickshire Alliance and it just become one faction.
For us to go to war with Ireland, we would need all of that stuff to turn blue, and we would need House 9 to be handed over to a number of our people so that it can be locked down against hostile takeover. Once those two things happened, at least this is my perception, I would have to get Logtrees and Jigga to make that final decision, but it seems to me we could go right to war with Ireland.
Yeah, and as far as writing stuff down, we can work that out. We hate to write stuff down, dude. It always gets around.
Okay, if you can agree in voice with them, then I think that might be able to happen, because that's what people are itching for. But they're afraid that you're going to take their land.
But we don't want their land. We just want the house.
we talked to the Knights of London, the Bloody Shovel and TGA Redemptor or whatever. And no, we don't care about glory, but we're going to fight to the end for House 9. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, wait a minute. Redemptor, I mean, I spoke to Redemptor. Redemptor was quite receptive of the whole idea. In fact, Redemptor was quite receptive of the whole idea of they just abandoned House 9 completely. And if they did that, then, you know, we would have no reason to fight them because they're not in the glory race anymore.
Yep.
He was quite receptive to that, and he was going away to talk through it with his guys. I didn't expect him to take it seriously, but yeah, and sorry, Hustler, I would reply to you, but my chat
we've all had our permissions
been
taken away.
Yeah.
We can't see anything. We can't do anything.
Well, can I say something then?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's just a general question about House 6. I'm up by Old Popeye, and I had to do a quest where I had to capture a top 100 player, and this was about a month ago. So if we do join with House 6, is he still going to hate me?
No, we don't. If you join, we don't hold grudges. We really don't. We don't care. Losing cities is something that literally does not register to us. We just don't care.
Well, I mean, I've probably had about 25 villages on World 6, and I'm down to 6. So, I mean, to me, yeah, losing a village isn't a big deal if it's not done in a, you know, by the fault of me or, you know, yeah, like some stupid ally or something, or somebody just causes me to lose a village, and I'm okay with losing villages. But I just didn't know if old Popeye was like, well, I'm going to be allies with him, but Hustler is still on my list.
No. The moment you fly blue colors or become a allied house of House 6, Popeye would defend you like one of his own.
Well, he never retaliated, but I was just wondering.
And
Okay.
just to address your question as well, I'll be really honest. House 6 doesn't really have a fixed council. We don't really work like that. House 13 works like that. House 9 works like that. We don't have this group of leaders that sit there and do fuck all. The way House 6 works is if you get shit done, you get a say. And so, I mean, you'll find people who would be considered, say, leadership in House 6 that don't even hold an officer role in a faction. It's a case of we operate more in cells, and we get, the person who, I suppose you could say, leads the cell is considered a leader, and all these guys get together, or sort of talk amongst one another. But there's no fixed council. There's no fixed council meetings or any crap like that.
All right. Well, that's cool because you guys all know Gibson. He was, he's in House 6, and there's some really bad blood between Sir Gawain and myself and some of the other people over there. And so I'm just hoping it's all squashed if we join you guys.
Yep. It's a case of if you're blue, you're blue. But that's the point I made at the start of these.
I mean, Gibson's talked to me a little bit about some of this stuff, and all I've got to tell him is, hey, you know what? We've made as many mistakes by hitting freaking Tony DeVille's faction after that PC Spire went through. They could just shut their mouth, and they did. It's not a big deal.
Cool.
Now, the people that hold grudges that used to be part of our deal long since turned and fought it out with us and are still fighting today just because they hate us.
Hey, Log Trees.
Yo.
Sometime quickly, can you guys get together, jot down something that will be seen by myself, Hawk, probably Zaret, Shiz, and Rizzle, concerning House 18 and the possible sister house of House 6.
Can we write it in a Word document and give you a link to the Word document through Dropbox or something?
Dude, you can give me my email, you can do whatever.
All right. Our concern is something with our names getting forwarded through. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we avoid.
Hey, Caruana, that's never been House 18's tactic.
Well, the moment there was a talk of a treaty, I mean, quite literally, the moment there was talk of a treaty with House 18 in the first place, we had House 13 at our door saying,
No joke, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like within the hour, had House 13 saying, "What's this about you having a treaty with House 18?" And it's like, seriously? I mean, what? Which is why, like the last treaty when we were talking about it, and it was potentially, you know, having a treaty with House 18, and it's why we said, well, we're not having a direct treaty with the whole House. The reason being is exactly because of that. Because it wasn't what was set, it wasn't the goal that was, we didn't set out to do that at that point, and we were getting all the drama from it, but, you know, it wasn't even happening at the time. Do you get me? So,
and just to give you an example, like I pulled up the email real quick. The people who received the treaty were Jigga, Tasha, Pimp, Kobe, Third Buster, Log Trees, Wazuppy, and myself. Someone on that list forwarded the mail to someone else, and somehow it got back to the Irish. So we don't know who or where or how, but somewhere it got out.
In fairness, I mean, it was quite open discussion in this TeamSpeak. And I mean, even while I was over here, there was all sorts of people involved in this discussion that were never supposed to be involved in the original treaty in the first place. And it got out one way or another. And straight away, this treaty was supposed to be forwarded to faction leaders, sheriffs, marshals, province governors,